Hi everyone, it's Rhianna back from A-Stop with our 5th Sexual Assault Awareness Month video for 2020. Today's actually Denim Day, and before we talk more about that, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much to everyone who's been following along with our virtual journey for this year's Sexual Assault Awareness Month. As you all know, unfortunately, due to COVID-19, we were unable to do our in-person presentations, events, displays, and everything that we normally do during this month. But thanks to your support, we've been able to have a successful virtual campaign this year. As I've said before, please let us know if you'd like to see more videos, whether it be a comment on YouTube, a message on Facebook or Instagram, or calling us or emailing us or anything, because we would love to do more videos if you want to see them. So it doesn't have to be about consent, it can be about a different topic, but we wanted to let you know that you can always request more videos and we're more than happy to put them together. As we talk about Denim Day, please keep in mind that it is about sexual violence and the myths and misconceptions that surround that. So as we're talking today, please keep that in mind. If you need to take a break, get some self-care, do that, because this can sometimes be triggering for some. Denim Day starts back in the 90s over in Italy, where a girl was taking driving lessons, and on that first driving lesson, her instructor took her to a secluded area and forcefully raped her. Afterwards, he told her to never tell anyone about this or she would be harmed. And undeterred, she actually went and told her family anyways, which is a huge feat for survivors because the number one reason a survivor doesn't report is fear, whether that be fear of the perpetrator, fear of a threat maybe that they were going to harm them, like in this case, or just fear of the unknown. And so for her to report took a lot of courage, and that is something that we applaud her for. Now, after she reported to her parents, they went to law enforcement, and the perpetrator actually ended up going to jail. So, justice was served, case closed, wonderful. But a couple years later, he actually appealed the case, and that case got overturned because of one small detail that the judge decided on within that courtroom. And that was that the victim's jeans were so tight that she must have had to help that perpetrator remove them, therefore making the act consensual. We all know that sexual violence is about power and control, and the definition of sexual violence and rape is something done against a victim's will or without their consent. In a situation like that, the fear of being harmed, maybe whatever the perpetrator was telling her, might have been so much that when he said, "remove your clothing," she did so willingly. But that's not really the case, because if you're under stress, if you're under an intense amount of fear, a victim might do whatever their perpetrator says, but that does not mean that they wanted that act to take place. And so after this happened, right, the case was overturned, the perpetrator was set free, all of the women in Italian parliament were outraged, and rightfully so. So the next day, they all wore jeans, denim jeans, to work, and they sat on the steps of the Supreme Court, calling attention to the fact that tight clothing or removing clothing is a myth and a misconception about sexual violence, and they called attention to that. And so then later on, the group Peace Over Violence over in LA actually caught wind of this as it made national news, and they said, hey, this should actually be a thing. And so Denim Day was born, starting in LA and kind of trickling over across the United States. Over 10 million people wore jeans on Denim Day last year, and I hope that is over 11 million this year. So by wearing jeans, you're calling attention to the fact that there unfortunately are still myths and victim blaming out there today. It might sound crazy that a case got overturned because someone was wearing tight clothing, but how many times have we heard that someone was asking for it because they were wearing a short skirt or a low-cut top, or they were drinking, or they kissed the person? Those kinds of things are not okay, and those are victim blaming and essentially myths and misconceptions, like we've said, that should not stand in today's society. And so wear your denim today, call attention to it, share some posts from our Facebook. We have a Denim Day event that's going on, and you can find out more about Denim Day at denimday.org, denimdayinfo.org. I apologize. I'll link that for us as well. But this is something that unfortunately is still going on, and by wearing denim on Denim Day every year, you're able to call attention and show support to survivors. So again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your support of survivors. Let us know if you have any questions. Head on over to our Facebook. We do have a donation fundraiser set up through this week for Denim Day, as we sometimes are able to do an in-person fundraiser, but not so much this year. But check that out. Feel free to follow us on all of our social media so that you can hear more about how to support survivors.